Okay, thank you guys for helping me out with the PAC training and sending this video to my mentor. We're going to be looking at some of Tifa Snow's training about normal aging versus non-normal aging, and we're going to start with the beginning of the video, okay?
Okay.
Since it sounds okay.
What we're going to talk about now is the difference between normal aging and not normal aging. Now understand, I did not say dementia, I just said normal aging, not normal aging, because one of our big misconceptions in this country is that if it's not normal aging, it's going to be dementia. And that's not true. So we've got to get that one off the table. So what I'm going to do very quickly is give you two quick little role plays that are going to take you through normal versus not normal. So I'll do normal first. I'm in the living room, and I've been watching a TV program, and the program finishes, and I decide, you know what, I'm thirsty. I think I'm going to go make a pot of coffee. And I head toward the kitchen to make coffee. But before I get all the way in the kitchen, the telephone rings. And so I answer the telephone. Hello?
Phone just went.
Oh, hey, sweetheart. How have you been? Well, yes, of course I know who it is. It's, right on the tip of my tongue. Starts with B. Betty, of course it's Betty. Sorry.
Let's go on. The storage
Recognized
is
the voice
full.
right away, just couldn't think of the name.
That's
Yeah,
my
see
dog.
about that. Huh? What? Oh, no, I'd love to get together. Oh, today? Okay, what? At 2? This afternoon? All right. Oh, at the mall. Okay, well, which end? Macy's. Oh. That's where J.C. Penney's was, right? They moved out and then Macy's. I know what you're talking about. Absolutely. The menswear, is that the same? Yeah, yep. I know where to be. 2 o'clock, I'll be there. Wait right inside the door. I'll be waiting right inside the door. It's supposed to be a little chilly this afternoon. Yeah. What? Oh, they opened a new chocolate store. Oh. Well, you know me. You know what I'm gonna get. I'll get caramels. I always get caramels. You're gonna get. I know you. You like the white flippy stuff with chocolate. Yes, coconut, of course. That's you. Huh? Oh, no, I'll be happy to call and see if Margaret wants to come. That'd be great. Yep. On the vacation pictures? Oh, yeah, I'll bring them. Wait till you see yourself in that bathing suit. Oh, I was just kidding. Just teasing you. You know how I am. Such a teaser. You get fat. I'm not going to say it, but you sure get fat. Okay, huh? What? No, I didn't say anything. I was just talking to myself. Writing a note. All right, sweetheart. Well, I'll see you then. Love you. Okay, bye-bye. What did I come in for? Okay, hang on. Let me think here. I was in the living room. I was watching the TV. Program ended. Betty hadn't called. I'd been able to remember. Okay, let me think on this. Okay. I was in the living room. I was sitting right here. Okay, the program ended, and I thought, oh, coughing. Why could I not think of that? Lord knows I'm losing it. Now, all of you've got dead silent. Because all of your brains are going, oh shit, I have this. Every single one of your brains is going, oh my God. And your brain is going, that's not dementia, that can't be dementia. I don't think that's dementia, that's just normal. Is that normal? I think that's normal. Your brain is talking to itself. One side is going, I think you've got dementia. No, she didn't say that was dementia. I think she said that was just not normal. I think that was okay. That happens every single time. The room gets dead silent because if you just think old people are worried about this crap, no, we're all concerned. Because you're going, I think I've done that. I did that just yesterday. What you've totally forgot, because in that moment your brain is going, is I said that was normal. I was going to do normal first. So here's what I think I better do. Do this. Roll your shoulders. I think we better do it one more time. You need to let it go. Breathe out all the way because you guys are going. And by the end, your brain's going. You got it. You got it. You lose. I told you. It's like stress. I don't know. She's stressed. I told you. Especially when I had to come back and sit in the chair. You're going, oh my God. So.
So, that was the first part of her video in this a whole presentation for normal versus not normal. So, has something like that ever happened to any of you?
Yeah.
Yes,
Daily?
yes,
Yes,
most definitely. Yes.
Yes.
Have you noticed others in your life doing that sort of thing?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
You probably noticed me. I don't think, well, maybe it's you and I both notice each other, but I was thinking outside of us, and I really don't notice that much with anyone else, but other than us, I guess, yeah.
I think I've noticed, like with Mom,
I was gonna say,
doing
Mom,
it.
I'll say
You know,
Mama.
some,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit.
Those few moments when.
Yeah. So as a group, think to yourself for a few moments, why do you think it happens? Why do you think those little moments of not being able to like grab information from your brain happens? And what do you notice about your breathing and the way that you're thinking when that happens, when you can't think about it, you know? You get frustrated or...
I don't know, I mean, I never really thought about it. I just figured, well, if it's important, it'll come back to me.
Well, that's a good positive way to think about it, though. I mean, you know, to deal with it. I think I get a little anxious about it when I can't, because I want it to come to me, you know.
Exactly, I'm that way. I can sense, you know, like you're telling yourself, okay, you know it, you know what you were doing, what's the deal? Why can't you think, why can't it come to you? And it is a little frustrating, you feel as though it's a little frustrating.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Frustrating. You know, I don't never recall saying what my breathing is doing or anything about my breathing or anything, but you just get, you know, frustrated. You start thinking to yourself, "Oh, you're getting old," kind of thing. You know, you're not. But at the same time, I always say, I just got so much in my head.
Well, that's what I was saying with the question that she was asking in regards to, you know, why do you think it was happening? I'm sure it's because 500 things are running through my brain, and I keep my list in my head. So all the things I've got to do today or something, and then you're.
Well, that is exactly right, though. I mean, that's, and later on in the video, that's what Teepa talks about, actually, is how much stuff we have in our brains. As people that have experienced lives in comparison to somebody that's 20 or 30 years old trying to go into the kitchen and find something. So that's, you know, you hit the nail on the head. That's a real thing. And it's a good thing to maybe take note of what happens with your breathing or how you're just feeling internally when you have those moments of
Be conscious
frustration.
of what your body's doing. I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When your brain gets anxious and nervous like that, though, your cortisol levels go up, and that's a stress hormone. So it does cause your system to become distressed, and it kind of rattles you a little bit. You don't think as clearly, and you get a little bit more frustrated. So it's a real phenomenon, physiological phenomenon going on. So, you know, Teepa was doing the slow breathing. It really, it literally lowers the cortisol levels. So doing that is beneficial to your body and kind of helps you think a little bit clearer and be able to find the, you know, go through it a little bit easier. So if we can just all kind of just take 3 cleansing breaths together, and then we'll move on to the next section. But let's just kind of have him watch this. If our cortisol levels are up, let's see if we can't just kind of bring them back down a little bit, okay? So just... One more. can feel it, kind of relaxing a little bit. So the next part of the video, Tipa is going to start talking about ways that we receive data into our brain. How do we get information? So if you don't mind, and she will cue you through the video, but just do with her what she's doing. It's another way to lay down information in your brain. The more you interact, you're receiving it, but also doing it will help you retain it better. So she will kind of walk us through all of that together.
Okay, so here we go. Hand up. Human beings have 5 ways to take things from, do this, out there and get them in their brain. 5 ways to take data from the world around you and put it in here so you can use it. You can process it, you can understand it, you can appreciate it. So the number 1 way, notice how it's separated from all the others. It's special. Do this, be an artist. Visual data. Visual data is the most powerful incoming data. It is what human beings prefer, and it is what they want first in any way of collecting data. They want to see something first. It allows them to see it, and then they can start to think about what they want to do next. But what you see is the most powerful sensory input that you're going to get in your brain. But here's the interesting thing about vision. Show me what you see. Point to what you see. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Put your hand back here. This is where you process in your brain what you see. So brain activity in the occipital area, the back of your brain, is where you process visual input. There's a little bit of distance there, isn't there? What connects the input system to the processing system is wiring. And in dementia, all wiring goes on the fritz and then dies. Just so you know. So there's a lot of wiring here. It's complicated wiring. It's actually fairly complicated because how many eyes do you have? 2. So you've got to take in data from 2 eyes, integrate those 2 pieces of data, process it, and then make sense of it. So all that's happening in the back of your brain. I'll show you in a few minutes. There's a huge amount of your brain devoted to visual processing. It's huge. There's also wiring between what you see and some other parts. Second way that you get data in your brain, take your index finger. Oh, look at how it points to things. What you hear, auditory incoming. Auditory data is the second most important way that human beings get data into their brain. Auditory. But if you hear a sound off to the side, what will you immediately do? Look, because this is primary. This just alerts you to go look and see what it is you want to see. So when it comes to dementia, visual then auditory. People with dementia pay more attention and are really getting more value out of what they see than what they hear. This is secondary, this is primary. Guess what caregivers like to do a lot though? Y'all love to run your mouth. You think they're paying attention to what you're saying. What they're doing is watching you when you're saying it. And they're picking up on your visual cues, but they're missing the content cues. Do this. So take the weapon that you've created, put it to your head, and pull the trigger. Because what happens is we think they're processing what we're giving them verbally, and what they're really processing is how we look visually and how we sound, but not necessarily the content. And because we're not on the same page, they're not getting this, they're getting this. We think they're getting this. This is not going to match. Who has to change it? We do. So we have to use less of this and start with this. And learn to use visual more than auditory. Third way you get data in, auditory. Put your hands right here. Your temporal lobes. Both sides are involved, but they're very different. This side is very different than this side. How many ears do you have? 2. All forms of dementia, all forms attack the brain asymmetrically. It means it attacks one side of the brain more than the other. That's how it works. It hits one side and then it spreads. So what happens in general, the left side of the brain is generally attacked sooner and faster and more devastatingly than the right side of the brain. We don't know exactly why, but most patterns of dementia attack, we're going to see more on the left than on the right. Left, right, language areas, but they're different. I'll come back to that for a little bit. Third way that you get data in your brain. Take that middle finger, drop it down, and touch it to the back of your other hand. Now this is actually complicated. And this is one of the most complicated, and it also takes up a lot of brain space. This is sensory motor. You feel something, you do something, you do something, you feel something. They're wired together. So that when you feel something, if you like it, you do more of it. If you don't like it, you stop doing it. So when you feel something, you do something to change or encourage or facilitate what you're feeling, and if you don't like it, you don't do it anymore. Here's the biggest challenge of dementia care. Turn to the person next to you. And if you will come up this time. All right, now what we're going to do is eliminate vision, and we're not going to talk. Okay, so we're taking away two of the ways that you would normally be able to get data into your brain, and I'm just going to use that third way. Oh. Go ahead and do that so you get the feel of what it feels like when you're doing this. So you can already tell where I'm going with this. This is not a good one to start with because most people are not fond of the idea of starting an interaction like this. And I do this particularly so you'll start to get the idea. No touching until you've done a visual verbal, and only then are you allowed to do the touch. You got to make sure they come together. So here's what we're going to do. You close your eyes. People with dementia, put your hands behind your back because I want you to feel incredibly vulnerable. That's what this disease does. It robs you of skills, so you suddenly are pretty vulnerable. And you thought you were competent. Okay, so caregivers, here's what you're going to do. You watch me and do to them what I do to my person. Okay, y'all should have your eyes closed. There should be no peeking. Notice how many of you opened them up to see what I was up to. Yeah, they're sneaky like that. Okay, you ready? We're going to use these. Okay, you ready? And now, one more. Now, I'm going to pause you.
Billy's gonna fall asleep.
I'm gonna pause.
Okay, so let's just take just a few seconds to just think about that experience and what it felt like and what it meant. So, what happened to you when, for you guys, since you were the patients or clients, what happened to you when the approacher touched you? What went through your mind?
It reminds me of when I got a haircut. Because I've got my eyes closed and all of a sudden I feel something touch my lip and I do back like that. Trim it now.
So you would just kind of like get startled by it?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
To me, it's like when you first started doing it, like on my head, it just sort of like tickled. You know, it was just sort of tickling kind of feeling, you know.
What, tickled?
Yeah, when you first started, yeah.
Did you feel, what kind of emotions did you feel? Did you feel like frightened or startled or anything like that?
Not really, since it was you doing it.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know.
Maybe different if you were like in a room with somebody you didn't know and
Exactly.
they were doing it. Yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah, if it'd been a stranger, yeah, it'd be different.
Yeah.
It's like, this is my
Yeah,
space.
this is
You've invaded my
family.
space now.
Yeah. Was your response what you expected it to be?
I think so.
I
Yeah, I
do too.
felt like it.
Considering this environment.
Right.
That's what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with the comfortable environment that you're in, where everybody knows each other, I think that
Yeah.
we felt totally different than we would if we were having some person just walk up out of nowhere and do that to you.
Right, which is the case for a lot of folks with dementia, you know, having caregivers. Hopefully, some of them are caregivers they know, but some of them aren't.
That's what I was asking, but you know, there's those cases where they don't even know they do not know the caregiver, and that would be.
Right, like in facilities and stuff, they don't, I mean, somebody coming into the room, getting ready to help them, whatever, you know, get changed, get ready to take up, you
Somewhat
know.
unsure of what to expect from that person, yeah.
Right,
It could have been the first time they ever saw that person.
exactly. But so, if it was somebody that you didn't know, what is something that you think that maybe you would have wanted to do as a response if it had been a stranger?
First thing you automatically think about, I think to me, is like swatting their hand away. That's
Right.
what like Billy was saying, you know, you're in my personal space, you know, you're